Steven Spielberg made his first movie in 1974, a film called The Sugarland Express starring Goldie Hawn. And since then he has made countless movies, becoming one of the best directors working today. And 50 odd years later, he's still working with the release of Disclosure Day, which comes out this week. I am here to talk to you about my personal top 10 favourite movies of Steven Spielberg. So Steven Spielberg is my favourite director of all time. He's made some truly fantastic classics, and this is my personal top 10 films of his work. We're going to have a couple of honourable mentions, and then we'll get into the top 10. So let's start with those honourable mentions. First one I want to talk to you guys about then is Catch Me If You Can, starring Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio, which is a true story about a guy who went on a run. It was a fantastic film, really enjoyed it. It's not quite the magic of Spielberg, but it's a very good and entertaining movie. The next one is sort of semi-autobiography. It's called The Fabelmans, which is based about him growing up and wanting to become a filmmaker and all the ups and downs of his family life and his mother, etc. This is a very moving and lovely film, and one of his better films in the last sort of 10 years. And my third honourable mention is Empire of the Sun, which stars a young Christian Bale and it has Ben Stiller and a few other people in it as a war film. It's a very moving film, very hard to watch, but a very important film. Like most of his war films, they do have a point to them, and this is a very good film indeed. But let's get on then with the top 10 Steven Spielberg movies of my personal choice. Number 10 is actually a film which not many people will probably put on their list. It's Hook, starring Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, Julia Roberts, Bob Hoskins, Maggie Smith. The cast is phenomenal, and this is basically a sequel to Peter Pan. Robin Williams plays Peter Pan, but an older Peter Pan, and basically his children get kidnapped by Captain Hook, so he goes back to Never Never Land. But the problem is he doesn't remember being Peter Pan, so he has to try and find his inner child so he can save his children from Captain Hook. And I always enjoy watching this movie. It's a lovely little film. It's a bit wacky, of course, it's a bit out there, but I really do enjoy it. All the performances are fun, and Robin Williams, he was just one of those actors that almost everybody loved, and I thought he was fantastic in this. I really do like the story, and I really do like the ending. And Robin Williams can act. When something happens to one of the main characters in the movie towards the end of the movie, he looks back up at Hook and he looks angry, and it's really quite something. Yeah, it's a really good film. I know it's not his best movie, but it's one of my favourites. AI. Now this was originally going to be done by Stanley Kubrick, but sadly he passed away, so Steven Spielberg took over as about a young lad and his robotic teddy bear. They go on an adventure, and this is a really good little film. The special effects, the story, the pacing. Stars Jude Law also as a robot, and yeah, this was a really good film. You can tell that Kubrick had his toe dipped in this, and Spielberg represented that, but he did his own thing with it as well. And yeah, it's a really good little film. I've always enjoyed artificial intelligence, AI. Number 8 is Saving Private Ryan. For me, probably the best war movie ever made. This is what you'd call a war movie. It has one of the most memorable opening segments to any war film. And I remember there was lots of people going to the cinema and all coming out throwing up. People were leaving the cinema because it was so gory. It's a really good film with a great cast. I mean, everybody's in this movie. Another Tom Hanks collaboration. This is a really good movie for me. It's such a good story, good actors, good action set pieces. It's very tense, and it's just very well made. It's one of Spielberg's best. Number 7 is War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise. I've always loved the story by H.G. Wells of War of the Worlds. Basically, aliens invade, and it's up to this family to try and get away from all these aliens, basically. And there's no government side to it in this one. There's obviously a remake. There has been other versions of the story, and since as well, like a TV series. And well, it's been countless TV series. But This is the one that I enjoy very much. The only thing I would say that did annoy me was the little girl screaming constantly, but that's understandable considering the situation that they are in. I love this movie. I could watch this over and over. It's not one of his best, but it's one of my personal favourites. War of the Worlds. I remember taking my mum and dad to see this at the Odeon and we had a great time. I love this movie. Number 6 is a film which originally was on TV then went to cinemas. It's called Duel. It's about a guy who's driving his car and he gets stalked by this guy in a massive truck and he's trying to get away from this guy, and this is a very entertaining, well edited and filmed movie. I think this is brilliant. The fact that it was originally a TV movie and became this thing and ended up going to the cinema is fantastic. I remember my dad praising this movie and saying that you got to watch this one, and when I did, I was on the edge of my seat for pretty much the whole of the runtime. The acting is pretty good overall and the pacing is perfect, the tension is unbelievable, and it's just a brilliant movie and you really do root for this guy. A lot of people complain about the ending, saying that you don't get a full conclusion of what happened, who's following him, etc. Well, you don't really need that. Not everything needs to be explained. There's a bit of a mystery and it leaves you thinking, and that's not really a bad thing. Number 5 is probably the most famous and most popular, or one of at least, of Spielberg's works, and yeah, this is a classic, and it did spawn many sequels, which I decided to do one of each of his movies from a franchise or a series of films, rather than doing like 3 films of this and 2 films of that. So to represent the franchise, I decided to put the first one in, which is my favourite of them all, Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is Indiana Jones starring Harrison Ford. What do I need to say about this movie? This movie is phenomenal. And it's just an incredible action adventure film with great actors, great characters, and a great score. Like I said, most of Spielberg work has John Williams doing the score, and they are wonderful. When they collaborate, it's just movie magic, and that's what I'm looking forward about Disclosure Day this week. It could be their last one together, so it has to be on scene, and the soundtrack is going to be a day one purchase. But anyway, Indiana Jones, who doesn't like Indiana Jones? It's such a great set of films. I love all of them. Wow. The first 3, I should say. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favourite. I think it's fantastic. It's just what started the ball rolling, not the opening, of course. And the ending, with all their faces melt, it freaked me out as a kid. It was gory as fuck and I loved it. And then you had Temple of Doom. Fantastic. That's even more gory in a way. Some of the stuff that's in that one is a lot darker, but I love that one. And the Mine Train, oh, fantastic. And then of course you've got the Last Crusade with Sean Connery, and I won't do that again. That is a wonderful ending to the trilogy. Some great set pieces, some one-liners, fantastic action. It's a great end to the series. Then of course they did the Crystal Skull, which it was okay. It was a little cheesy and in a fridge from an atomic bomb. Fuck off. And then you had the recent one, Dial of Destiny, which is it Dial of Destiny? I'm pretty sure it's Dial of Destiny. I always think of Pick of Destiny with Tenacious D. Dial of Destiny, and it was okay. But 1, 2, and 3 are my favourites. But yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark, it's a classic, and it has to go down in history as one of the best movies ever made. Number 4. Oh, motherfucker. That's right, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I remember when I first saw this and I cried my eyes out when I saw little E.T. left there on the floor looking like he was dead. Oh my god, this was a really emotional, beautiful film. Great story, great direction, great cinematography, great score, great ending. This is possibly his most emotional movie. What a great film this is. It's funny, it's emotional, like I said, it's got great pacing, it takes its time, but it's a well-made film. I love E.T. and I think I've been on the E.T. ride over at Universal Studios. It's a great film. This is wonderful. It's just a masterpiece, and if you don't like it, that's perfectly fine, but for me, it's one of my all-time favourite movies. Now, number 3 is going to throw you all off, because you're going to say, what? Really? I can't tell you why, because I don't know why, but I love this movie. There's something about it. It's sort of based on a true story as well. It's The Terminal, starring Tom Hanks. Now when I first saw this, I saw a copy of this about 6 months before it came out. A friend of mine at work said, watch this. He just gave me a DVD and I watched it, and I fell in love with this movie. I then went to see it at the cinema, and then I bought it on DVD, and then I bought it on Blu-ray. This is a wonderful film about a guy who's stuck at the airport, and Tom Hanks once again collaborating with Steven Spielberg. It's a real Frank Capra-esque movie. It's about a guy who's stuck here, and he learns a lot about life, the people he meets, and it's just about his character and how he learns and some of the things he gets into. Stanley Tucci, one of the greatest actors working today in my opinion. He is fantastic in this film as sort of the guy who runs the airport, and he wants him gone, but he can't get rid of him because of situations. This is a really lovely, laid-back film. It has a great ending. It does have an emotional core to it. Catherine Zeta-Jones sort of comes in now and then, but the film itself is just so great. I love this movie. I love the way it's filmed. I love the music. I love the script. I love the acting. I love the beginning, the middle and the end. I love The Terminal. It's one of my all-time favourite films. I would say we're saying that a lot now because we're getting towards the best of his movies in my opinion. Number 2 is Jurassic Park. Now Jurassic Park is a film which I have a memory watching at the cinema. I remember, and do you remember the days when trailers didn't show you fuck all and everything was a surprise? Well, when I saw this one, I had only seen the trailer, and in the trailer they didn't show off any of the dinosaurs. You got little snippets, little things here and there, like a foot, or maybe like a raptor by the window breathing against the glass, but you didn't really see a dinosaur, not properly, not from memory anyway. And I remember thinking, this is a film about dinosaurs. That's all I can tell from the poster and the trailer. I loved dinosaurs as a kid, so I wanted to go and see this. And I remember going to see this in the cinema, and I was terrified at the T-Rex scene. I was on the edge of my seat, the tension, the effects. They looked so real, like you could touch them, and half of it was real. Most of the effects were real. There's obviously some CGI bits here and there. But even the CGI at the time, it all looked real. It was so convincing. I thought dinosaurs were back. This was amazing. I mean, the sequels were fun. I like all the sequels. There's not a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World film I don't like. But this was just amazing. The score is absolutely phenomenal. Oh, shut up. I love Jurassic Park. It's just fantastic from start to finish. If ever one of Spielberg's films comes on TV and it's on, you happen to click on it, you end up watching it to the end. And this is one of those movies. It's just perfection. I love it to pieces. Great acting, great action set pieces, great tension, great moments, great film. And number 1, what is my favourite Steven Spielberg film of all time? The BFG. No, it's not. I'm joking. It is Jaws. Obviously. I mean, Jaws to me is the closest to perfection you could ever get for a movie. It's about a shark. We all know this. And these 3 guys go out to try and get rid of the shark that's going around eating kids, etc. in the swimming pool area. Or swimming pool? In the beach area. That'd be a bit weird. I'm sure it's been done. So yeah, Jaws. What can I say about this film? The score, the cinematography, the atmosphere, the direction, the most scariest jump scene possibly ever, the pacing, the characters, the writing, the cinematography, I mean everything. Everything is perfection. It is the closest to perfection for a film I think I've ever seen in my life. I remember watching this as a kid and I loved it. And then I watched all the sequels and I loved those as well as a kid. Now, not so much. But the first one, I went to see it last year in iSense, and this was spread over the fullest, widest they could possibly get for the widescreen. I'd never seen this so big, and the sound, I've never experienced this film in that way, because obviously I was too young. I wasn't born when the film came out, and so I saw these on TV, and then I recorded them off TV, bought the DVDs, bought the Blu-rays. What can I say about Jaws that nobody cannot know of? It's just wonderful. This is movie perfection. This is a masterpiece. This is an all-time classic. It is a wonderful film, and I can't say no more than that. I mean, I went to see a play about this last year called The Shark Has Broken, and that was wonderful. That needs to get a release. I really do hope they put that onto Blu-ray or DVD at least someday. But yeah, Jaws. The sequels, like I said, meh. But this is Steven Spielberg's best film in my opinion. Right, so that is my top 10 Steven Spielberg films. What is your... Well, I'm not going to ask you to do top 10 unless you really want to, but leave me down in the comments, what is your top 3 favourite Steven Spielberg movies? Are you going to go and see Disclosure Day? I certainly fucking am. I can't bloody wait. I'm going to see that, and they're showing it in iSense as well. I am very excited to see it. I will be going to see it at some point. But yeah, that is my video. I need to sneeze. Sorry about that. So that is my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you again soon, and I'll let you know what I think of Disclosure Day. I will be doing a review for that. I'll let you know if it goes into my top 10 or not, because apparently the critics, this is one of the best films in 20 years from Steven Spielberg and one of John Williams' best scores. And like I said, it could be their last one. That's why I did this video, because this film's coming out. I thought I'd celebrate my love and affection for his work and give you my top 10. And I'm going to go. You've heard enough. You got the idea. I'll see you again soon, guys. All the best.